So we done talked about relationships. We done talked about masculinity, femininity. We done talked about Black business, life changes, and all of that jazz. Shoot, I feel like this has been a pretty productive conversation. Big Pimpin'.
I do too. It was really fun. I enjoyed myself.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy AJ. We back at Unscripted Conversations with another episode for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for being great. I hope you're having an amazing day. And if you're not, guess what? It's going to get better. It's going to be amazing. You're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. Make sure you hit that like button. Go on and subscribe. If you haven't, tell a friend and tell a friend. Make sure you throw on those post notifications and drop a comment if you want a specific topic or be on the show. So today, we got one of my good friends, one of the homies, one of the legends. Okay, we got Miss Renise in the seat with us today. How you feeling, Big Pimpin'?
I am good. I'm really good. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for the conversation.
I'm happy to have you here. So today, we got a pretty interesting topic. We're talking about relationships.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not talking about as a man, you should do this in a relationship. And as a woman, you should do this in a relationship. I'm talking about relationships, okay? Social, romantic, friend, family, traditional, non-traditional, all types of relationships. That's what we're talking about today. That's what we get
today. I see, getting real deep.
Oh yeah, just a little bit, just a little something. Got to give the people a little bit of flavor with your knowledge. Now you can't just be out here. 7 years ago, someone got married, and then you gotta talk to the people. That's not everybody's dream. That's not everybody's picture. So you gotta have an accurate representation of what's going on in the world today. At least that's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
So, long introduction and all of that jazz. But you know me, I'm a little bit long with it. So, Angelise, how would you define your relationship status? For all the people out there that's inquiring, because they're gonna see this episode, they're gonna be like, "Oh, who is she?" They're gonna be wondering.
You mean romantically, right?
Yeah. What's your romantic relationship status?
It's complicated.
They got that. They got that as an option on Facebook.
They do.
Oh, okay. Well, excuse me.
Right now it's complicated, but I feel like it's going in the right direction. We trying to figure something out.
Okay. Well, we'll leave that right there. We ain't gonna have YouTube having your whole business out here.
Mm-hmm.
So, relationships. Are you a relationship person, or are you more like of a single person?
At heart, I'm definitely a relationship person, but reality in life, I'm definitely the single person, if that makes sense.
Break it down for the people.
So if I could be in a relationship, I would 100% definitely be in a relationship. Mm-hmm. It's just getting to that point, because I, in my opinion, women do not control whether or not we're in relationships. Because if a man says we not together, but still want to do X, Y, and Z, and you go along with it, y'all not together. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I mean.
Okay. So I'm gonna come back because I got a question that might be controversial for some folks.
Okay. I like controversy.
You said why would it be controversial?
No, I said I like controversy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can tell from your Instagram posts. You'd be like, "What y'all think about this? It's time for another forum."
No, for real.
So, are you familiar with non-traditional relationships, romantic?
Very much so.
Okay, what kind?
I know a little bit now. Okay.
Well, give me some knowledge. Let me hear.
Okay, so this is what I know. Okay, so we're gonna go with traditional so people can know the difference.
Okay.
In Western society, meaning societies that are colonized by past Europeans or whatever, they gave everybody else their ideologies, and we have monogamy, which is what most people in America practice. Mm-hmm. Meaning I commit to you and this other person commits to you and y'all are one together. That's it. That's all.
Okay.
That's traditional. Now we got non-traditional, and the two forms that I know are polygamy, which means that one person is in a relationship with multiple people.
Okay.
Those other people are not in relationships with other people. They're only in relationships with that one person. And that one person, is supposed to provide financially, emotionally, and all of that to those people. And it's usually a man that's in that position, not a woman. And then you have polyamory, which I just learned this. I knew about polygamy, but polyamory is when everybody is involved with each other. So going back to that polygamous example, if you have one man and he has 4 women that he's in a relationship with, in polyamory, those 4 women are also in a relationship with each other. Does that make sense?
Okay, like a throuple.
Exactly, like a throuple.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you this: in these, and if I confuse which poly, just bear with me. But let's say in one of these poly situations, is it possible, or is it common for people to be in multiple relationships? So like you have person A, and then they have ABC. And then what if person B had like 1, 2, 3? Like, is that a thing?
I am not. I'm probably on the low. But I don't think that would be the case where everybody else knew. Because honestly, I feel like in that that's just way too many, like, that's too much going on in a situation. So, because you said this one person has ABC, and then this one person has 1, 2, 3. If they all having sex with each other, you don't know what these people doing, what these other people doing, and that's just way, like, it's too many STDs and pregnancies and stuff going on for stuff like that.
Right. So are you familiar with the term, and I may mispronounce the term, but I think it's called fluid bonding? Are you familiar with that term?
I've never heard that in my life.
So fluid bonding. So let me take one step back. So prior to this conversation, since I knew that we were going to talk about like relationships and different things like that, I looked into a few things.
Okay.
And I stumbled across it actually was sent to me. I didn't even find it. It was sent to me. And it's a video. And it's like basically a reporter or a journalist or someone, and she was speaking to different poly, I don't want to say couples, because sometimes it was more than like 2 people, but different poly relationships.
Right.
And she was talking to a married couple that practiced poly something. And like, so the man had like I think the man had a girlfriend, and the woman had, we'll say her, I don't want to say her rotation, but for lack of better words, her rotation.
Yeah. So the man had 1 woman and she had multiple men.
Right.
Okay.
And they were talking to the journalist, and they were explaining their relationship and the dynamics of it and all of that. And then the wife said, yeah, but we're the only ones that are fluid bonded. And so the journalist was like, well, I've never heard of this. Like, what is fluid bonded? And I was wondering the same thing. I was like, fluid bonded? Like, y'all do, like, in the
like
movie,
made up stuff.
like cut their hand, and then they be like,
right,
that's
what
I was thinking at first, like, it's a little extreme. But that's what I was thinking at first, and I had never heard of the term before. But fluid bonding is when you have unprotected sex with someone, because there's an exchange of fluids. And so the husband and wife, regardless of their, I don't want to say outside relationship, but their other relationships, all of those, they are protected sex. So condoms, all of that jazz. But the husband and wife themselves are the only ones who are fluid bonded.
Why didn't they just go just be direct and say, well, I'm only fucking this person, bro? Like, I don't understand. Like,
fine.
That's just doing too much. One, I mean, if that's what it is, that don't make it no different. You still mess with other people. Like, whether you're using the condom or whatever form of protection that you're using, you still dealing with other people, that you're still putting yourself and your person that you're fluid bonded with at risk. Like, that don't make a difference, honestly.
I can see both sides of it. I can't wholeheartedly like agree, but I can't wholeheartedly disagree. Like, I feel like because they are open with each other, the husband and the wife, or whomever I guess you could call like the main couple is in the situation.
Right.
Because there's that communication, like, hey, I'm meeting up with A today, and then like maybe like a week or two later, it's like, oh, I'm meeting up with B. Like, because they know like what's going on, and because it's consistent people, I think that like cuts it down. But at the same time, like you said, like that's still multiple people at the end of the day, regardless of like if it's protected or unprotected. So I could see both sides.
I see where you're getting at as far as like the person, like the main couple knows what's going on. But I mean, that still doesn't protect either person from what could come from them dealing with other people. And that's all I was saying, because it's just like,
that's fair. I can agree with that. So, seeing as you're a relationship person, could you ever see yourself in a I won't say a non-traditional relationship?
Yeah. What's so crazy is maybe like 2 months ago or something, I saw this video on Instagram of, I don't remember her name. I don't know how to pronounce her name, rather, but she wrote a book called The Black Man's Guide to like Black Women or something like that. And basically what she was saying is that she was specifically speaking on Black men. And she said that Black men have never been, known to settle down with one woman. And she didn't mean it in a way that Black men are just out here sleeping with a lot of women, but she means that Black men have had one family over here and one family over here, and both families knew about the other, but they still decided to not come together. And what she's saying is, if that's the case and y'all both are still going to deal with this man, why not bring your families together so your kids can be with their brothers and sisters and y'all live together in one household, and so on and so forth. And that I sent the video to my sister because my sister's married with children.
Okay.
And I got her opinion on it, and she was like, yeah, I agree with her. And that really blew my mind because she didn't think about it. She was like, yeah, she's right. So that led to deeper conversations about it. And I really feel like, if I feel like I'm not lacking in my relationship with a man and he is dealing with somebody else, I think I would be okay with that.
So is it fair to say that you'd be open to like a throuple?
Yeah.
Okay. Throuple, or I think it's called like solo poly, because there's a difference. So a throuple.
Oh God, I knew less than I thought.
So a throuple, it'd be like, let's say that there were, 2 women, 1 man. All 3 of y'all would be in a relationship, like as a unit.
That's the throuple.
Right. Whereas the solo poly is kind of like what you were saying, like one household here, and like the man in the middle. And even if you bring the 2 households together, like
that's polygamy.
Technically separate.
Yeah, that's polygamy.
Yeah. So with that being said, are you throuple or are you the solo poly?
Okay, so either.
So now this brings me to a new question, which I've never asked you, I don't think. Are you interested in women?
I've never been interested in women sexually, no.
So in the throuple scenario, like all of y'all would be in a relationship.
Yes.
So how would that work if you're not interested in women?
That was the thing that I had a conversation with him about. And I don't want to put all my business out there.
Well, I'm not asking for your like
But
real life love situation. I'm just saying
right,
we talking in the clouds.
right. But still, you can only speak from your own experience and perspective. So my take on that is, like I said, I've never been interested in women in that way. However, like I told you when I had the conversation with my sister, like it got deeper, kind of how like this conversation is going.
Yeah.
And it's mostly just like I or people want to be in a relationship where they feel valued, loved, cared for, and so on and so forth. And I was open to the situation because I was first just open to polygamy. So like I told you, if I felt like I wasn't lacking in anything and I found out he had a whole nother situation, I feel like I would be okay with that, because before I found out, I felt like everything was rainbows and sunshine. Yeah.
Right.
So that's how I approached the situation. So it's still kind of like a learning experience for me. Right. Because I'm a very feminine woman. I enjoy masculinity. I'm not a feminist. I don't believe in toxic masculinity. And it's kind of getting some adjusting, because like you said, it's 2 females and a man.
Right.
And in the situation, it's kind of, have to really learn how to navigate it.
Okay. Short side conversation.
Okay.
What is your opinion on the statement that feminism killed chivalry?
I agree.
Why?
Because so to me, feminism is about women having choices of whether or not they want to stay in, because back in the day, it was expected of women to be barefoot pregnant in the house, raising kids, doing, whatever for the household. And feminism came about so women can have a choice to whether or not I want to be a career woman or, whatever else that a woman might want to do. However, as feminism evolved, in my opinion, it kept telling women, that they don't need a man, you can live your life without a man, and so on and so forth. And I feel like men and women complement each other. And if you continuously tell men, I don't need you, you don't have to do this for me, you don't have to do that for me. So when men stop, why are you complaining? Because you continuously tell them, I don't need you for anything. That's just how I feel about it. That's why I feel like feminism killed chivalry, because it came to a point where you were telling men not to do anything for you. So they stopped doing stuff for you.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Antronice. No, I know. We have our little conversations and whatnot.
Yeah.
So this ain't nothing new. But I'm gonna have to disagree with you, and my reasoning behind it is that, in my opinion, like how you were saying, like feminism is about like, women being able to choose what it is they want to do, how they want to spend their time, career moves, life moves. Like in my opinion, every woman doesn't want to like live the white picket fence life. Like, oh, I'm gonna wear an apron all day, clean the house, take care of the kids, and this, that, and the third. Like that's not everybody's dream, and that's okay. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't think that because women stood up and said, hey, we have a voice, we're not dumb, this, that, and the third, I don't think that's necessarily what killed chivalry.
No, you're missing the point.
No. I'm saying, like, yes, like even myself, I've encountered some women that's like, oh, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do this. Oh, I got it, whatever the case. In my opinion, I don't think that's necessarily what killed chivalry. I think it was, what do they call it? Not toxic masculinity, but like, I guess toxic masculinity, maybe. I don't know. But like
hold up. First, I said this already. Like, I don't believe in toxic masculinity. So can you define what toxic masculinity is to you?
So to me, I would say toxic masculinity is, number one, feeling like everything threatens your manhood. Like, so if I'm
Give me
scrolling through
example.
Twitter,
Yeah.
I could be scrolling through Twitter and somebody be like, dudes that go to brunch are gay. Like, ain't nothing gay about brunch. It's food and it's orange juice. But they feel like if you drinking mimosas and you go to
You
brunch, that you gay. And that's
you
like,
cannot equate someone's stupidity and say that that is masculine
no, that's what I'm saying.
or toxically masculine. I'm talking about define specific traits of a man,
right,
that someone would consider, if he has these traits, he's toxically masculine.
so that's what I'm saying. Like, things that don't equate to sexuality, threatening manhood.
You kind of lost me.
So
I'm talking about what character traits, because I'm asking you this because what I've seen about toxic masculinity describes an alpha male, a traditional alpha male, not in a negative sense, that wants to provide and protect and do what he should do as a man for his family. That's what I've seen as people calling toxically masculine. That's why I don't believe in toxic masculinity, because, like I said, I'm a very feminine woman.
Right.
And I would want an alpha male who wants to provide and protect and do what he needs to do for myself and our children. That's why I say I don't agree or believe that that is a thing. And then the things that people also equate to it as, you know, if a man feels like women are, you know, sex object and he should just have sex with whatever woman that he deems that he wants to have sex with. No, that's not toxically masculine. That's rapey. He's a rapist. Like, that you can't equate the two. To me, that's just how I think about
it. I feel you. Yeah, but the toxic masculinity that I'm referencing is like I was saying, like, things that have nothing to do with like manhood or sexuality being forced on other people. Like, that's why I brought up the brunch thing. Like, I don't know how often you do or don't get on Twitter, or if other people get on Twitter.
I don't have a Twitter. I hate Twitter.
Why you hate Twitter?
Twitter is the most annoying, because everybody on Twitter feels like they are a activist, philanthropist, and their opinion is the opinion that everybody in the world should go by. And I'm the kind of person, you know, I like debate. I like to know other people's opinions on things. And just because you disagree with somebody does not mean that person is a bad person. Does not mean that person should, you know, be canceled or sent somewhere so they can completely change the way they think.
Right.
We're in the United States. The reason this country is able to, you know, innovate and do a bunch of things that it has done is because we have people from all over the world. People immigrate here. It's very diverse. With that diversity comes difference of opinions and ideas and how things should be. That's not a bad thing. And I hate Twitter because on Twitter, you disagree with somebody, all of a sudden you were spawned from hell and you should, you know, go back to where you came from. And it's really irritating because if you can't have a conversation like this, like when you said you disagree with me, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, AJ, what's wrong with you? Oh my God. It was, oh, okay. Why?
Yeah.
We may come to a common ground, we may not, but that does not mean, you know, you're a bad person or I'm a bad person. You know what I'm saying? It's just irritating on Twitter. Yeah. I can't deal with it.
I feel that. But I mean, I feel like that's any app. Like, I get on Instagram and I can get DMs from people talk about, hey, you want to make some money? Oh, my business, that, whatever. Or like,
the difference.
I don't know. I feel like it's I feel like the reach of people on Instagram is shorter because like you can't necessarily like retweet or repost stuff that like people have done like in the expeditious nature that you can on Twitter. But I still feel like the audience isn't that different. You know what I mean?
I agree with you there, but the difference for me is Twitter is nothing but what people say. That's all you're looking at. Instagram is pictures. I can't see what somebody is saying about this picture or this, news article with a little caption on it unless I choose to go to the comments. Yeah. You can't do that on Twitter. They show you the tweet, the quote tweet, a little bit of the comment, and yeah, it's nothing but that is all I'm saying. And there's no middle ground or in between. It's always black and white on Twitter.
I guess. I mean, I get on Twitter to watch funny videos, and stuff like that.
But that's the thing. Even on Twitter, people be offended by the funny videos.
I don't get offended. I be chilling.
I'm talking about just like in the comments and stuff. Like if.
Yeah.
Never mind. Let me not get off topic.
No, it's fine. We can talk about whatever. We really just here chopping it up, having conversation. That's it.
But we were on toxic masculinity. Yeah. It actually looks better that way. Yeah, you kind of giving me, I'm gonna figure out the person's name, but you giving me his vibe right now.
Maybe this is gonna be like this is gonna be my summer look. You're not feeling the summer look?
No, not for the summer. You gonna be on the sidewalk or in the streets?
On the sidewalk, in the streets. Now you know me. I be in the house drinking my water and minding my business. I don't be in those streets.
Okay.
The streets, ain't nothing for me out there in them streets. Speaking of the streets, I was in the streets yesterday. But it was because it was Rachel's birthday. So, we went out and celebrated and all of that stuff.
That was nice.
So it was good, wholesome fun.
Wholesome. Emphasis.
Wholesome. That's the only type of fun I have is wholesome fun. If it ain't wholesome fun, I don't want it.
Not that you on here lying to YouTube.
But these people don't need to know my life like that. Okay. They already see. They see this folks see. They see me on my couch. I don't know how much else they need. I feel like this is enough. But yeah. So shifting gears a little bit, but only slightly. When it comes to, how can I put this? When it comes to relationships overall, in general, whether it's social, friendship, romantic, whatever the case, how important do you feel like that is to the overall well-being of a person?
Of just a person generally. I feel like it is 75%. I feel like people are not here to be alone. And if that were the case, people wouldn't feel the kind of things that they feel or be affected by a lot of the things that they're affected by when it comes to relationships with other people. So relationships, platonic, romantic, family, whatever, may be difficult, but I feel like at the end of the day, they're very much worth it and play, like I said, 75% of the role of your happiness. Because you can have literally everything materialistically, but if you literally just have nobody to sit there and watch or binge watch a TV show with you, you really just not happy.
I feel that. So, which do you think holds more weight? Friendships or romantic relationships?
Romantic relationships. I say romantic relationships. One, you would have to be more specific because that's a really sticky kind of subject, because unless you're married, then yeah, that relationship would definitely be the most important than whatever friendship you done had for 20 years, But I feel like the issue arises in just dating, because sometimes you'll cut people off or do other things because of a guy that's really not for you, or for a woman that's really not for you. So you really have to have that discernment within yourself to know what people are worth it. And the way to know that is to know yourself and what you really want.
Okay. Only reason I ask is because sometimes there's people that just really have friendships, but they're like single for, I won't say forever, but they single for a really, really long time, but like they still have like their friendships. And then you have people on the other side where like they have their romantic relationships or like their marriage, but they don't really have like friends like that. You know what I mean? Like that person or people, depending on the type of relationship, is that person or their people. So that's what I was asking. You know what I'm saying?
All of it is important. But what I'm saying is, if you are married, your husband or your wife comes before whatever other person, because that relationship is first. If y'all have kids, then y'all are both putting the kids first. And after y'all put the kids first, then y'all put each other first. But outside of the marriage, then you can place in order whoever else is not within it, because you live with your husband or wife, y'all sharing assets, y'all building a life together. So if you put somebody else before your spouse, I mean, you really shouldn't have one. But that relationship outside of that is still important, because you need a life outside of that relationship.
Okay. So quick answer. No time to think. You got like 2.5 seconds when I finish asking.
Okay.
Boat done tipped overboard. Your husband and or romantic partners that you have in the water, kids in the water, can't nobody swim. I know you can't swim, so you got one lifesaver and it can only save one person. Who you saving?
My husband.
Kid or partner?
I already said it, my husband.
Okay. Oh, all right. I was just asking because you was giving the order of you know what I'm saying, he's like the kids here, the marriage here.
We decide, me and my husband decide to put the kids first. If he's also drowning in the water, I would save him. That sounds terrible, but I definitely would.
Hey, look, I don't have a right or a wrong answer to this. I just want to know what
no,
you
I'm
would
saying,
do.
I just feel like socially, if people watch this, they'll be like, what the hell is wrong with her?
I mean, people gonna talk either way, whether you say kids or husband. So it is what it is. So tell me update me on life. How is life with Antronice?
Life with Antronice is pretty boring right now. In the limbo period, I graduated with my master's, and I start my job. Yeah.
Come on, graduated. Come on.
So I'm waiting to start my job, and I currently do not have a job while I'm waiting on this new job. So right now I've just been living in my apartment. I'm writing a book, fiction. I've been working out.
Writing a book?
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting book.
Are we allowed to know what it's about, or is it still under wraps?
It's along the lines of, I think I told you about this, a series of unfortunate situationships.
Yeah, the one you had me. Okay, I got you. How's that been going?
So I actually sent it to, at PV, I was also a communications minor. I sent it to my screenwriting professor. It's not finished, but I sent it to him so I can get his feedback. And I already know like he's gonna fix it up for me so I can add more detail, things like that. So I'm waiting for him to send that back to me.
That's really cool. Come on, friend. My friend finna be a published author. Y'all heard it here first. Go on and tell them the name of the book again. Tell them.
Oh gosh, a series of unfortunate situationships.
Now, are you doing this under your name, or do you have like an author name?
See, I was thinking about that, and I really feel like I want to do a pen name, but at the same time, I want to use my name because my name is pretty much very original.
Okay. So are you still figuring out the name?
Yeah, definitely. But if I do it under my actual name, it's just gonna probably be Antronice. I won't have a last name with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. You know, Rachel had put out a little poetry
Her book of poems. Yep. I bought one.
Yep. Me too. You gotta support Black business. You heard it
Yeah.
here again. Support Black business. All right. Support it. So we done talked about relationships. We done talked about masculinity, femininity. We done talked about Black business, life changes, and all of that jazz. Shoot. I feel like this has been a pretty productive conversation, Big Pimpin'.
I do too. It was really fun. I enjoyed myself.
So you know we're gonna have to do a part 2.
Definitely. We should add more people for the part 2. That would be a very interesting conversation with more people.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. And when we do part 2, I want it to be in person. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be together as a collective. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it happen.
Definitely.
Cool. Well, folks, this was part 1. Part 2 even gonna be greater than before, even though before is right now. Part 2 gonna be on and popping. So make sure y'all got on your post notifications. You gotta subscribe first, so do that too. Throw a like, throw a comment. You wanna be a guest? You know, the comments, like right there at the bottom, them comments. The subscribe button probably somewhere over here. If not, then it's over here. There's gonna be a post notification bell on the other side of that. The other side, make sure you hit it, smash it, double tap it even if you want to, but not too many times because it'll turn it off. So make sure when you hit it that you make sure it's on and that you put all, or you could personalize it, but I suggest going all. You know what I'm saying? That's that you don't miss nothing. Content gonna be hidden every week. We looking at Tuesdays. If we can stay consistent with it, okay? But we got some heat, we got some bangers, okay? The summer is approaching. It's gonna. Do people still have hot girl summers? Is that still a thing?
I think so.
The hotties is still out. Is that? Am I using the right terminology?
I think it's people for the streets now.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think I'm
well,
not
shoot. Thank you for your time, Antronice. Have a great night.
You too.
YouTube, it's been real.